Your life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Everything you see, experience, and feel is a direct reflection of the energy you carry within. If you wish to change your future, you must first shift your energy. You do not manifest by chasing, begging, or struggling. You manifest by becoming. You must assume the energy of your desired future, and reality will bend to your assumption. Right now, there exists an infinite number of versions of you. One who is abundant, one who is thriving, one who is in love. These possibilities are not far away. They are here, waiting for you to embody them. The question is not if you can have it, but are you willing to feel as if you already do? When you live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your subconscious mind receives the signal that it is real, and it sets in motion events, circumstances, and opportunities to match that inner state. There is no force in the universe more powerful than the conviction of the one who believes. Do not look outside for proof. The world is merely a mirror reflecting back the assumptions you hold. If you see lack, it is because you expect it. If you see delays, it is because you assume they must be. Change your assumption, and reality will follow. Release the need to know how your desire will come. That is not your concern. Your only task is to persist in the knowing that it is already yours. Do not let fleeting appearances deceive you. Hold fast to the feeling and watch the world conform. Your future is not waiting for you, it is waiting on you. Shift your energy and watch your life unfold in ways you never thought possible. Now close your eyes, feel it, breathe it in. It is already done. The world you see before you is not separate from you. It is not something happening to you, but rather something happening through you. Your experiences, circumstances, and even the people who enter your life are all reflections of the energy you carry within. If you truly wish to change your reality, you must first change the energy you emit. There is no other way. Energy is not an abstract concept. It is the very essence of your being. It is the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you dwell in, and the assumptions you hold about life. Everything that unfolds in your world is shaped by these unseen forces within you. When you understand this, you no longer feel like a victim of circumstances. Instead, you awaken to your power, the power to shift your energy, and in doing so, transform your life. Have you ever noticed how people in the same environment experience vastly different realities? Two individuals can walk through the same world, yet one sees only obstacles while the other sees endless opportunities. One constantly encounters disappointment while the other attracts abundance. What makes the difference? It is not the external world. It is the energy they carry within. Every moment you are radiating a frequency, much like a radio tower sending out signals. This frequency is determined by what you habitually think, feel, and believe. And just like a radio station tunes into a specific frequency to receive a broadcast, your life tunes into a reality that matches your dominant vibration. If you are constantly dwelling in thoughts of lack, frustration, or fear, you will find those very experiences echoing back to you. But if you shift your energy, if you cultivate a state of inner peace, gratitude, and certainty that all is working in your favor, your external world must adjust accordingly. This is not mere philosophy. It is an unbreakable law. What you hold within is what you experience without. The world is your mirror, reflecting back to you the contents of your mind and heart. When you truly grasp this, you no longer react to the world as if it is something outside of you. Instead, you recognize that it is a projection of your inner state, and with this awareness, you can begin to change it from within. So how do you shift your energy? How do you change what you are broadcasting to the world? The answer lies in where you place your attention. Your energy flows where your focus goes. If you dwell on problems, they expand. If you fixate on what is missing, the feeling of lack grows stronger. But the moment you shift your focus gratitude, to possibility, to the feeling of already having what you desire, your entire vibration changes. You do not have to force reality to change, you only have to change yourself. When you step into the energy of already having, already being, already experiencing what you desire, the external world will begin to move in ways that seem almost magical. Doors will open, people will appear. Circumstances will shift in your favor, not because you are manipulating the outside world, but because you have changed the vibration you are offering. Many people spend their lives trying to fix external conditions while ignoring the root cause, the energy they carry within. They seek wealth while vibrating in scarcity. They seek love while radiating insecurity. They seek peace while dwelling in worry. But the truth remains. You cannot receive what you are not aligned with. The universe does not respond to your wishes, it responds to your state of being. So instead of asking, when will my reality change, ask, what energy am I embodying right now? Because the answer to that question determines everything. Change your energy and reality has no choice but to follow. It is law. There is a secret hidden in plain sight, one that governs every aspect of your reality. It is not effort, struggle, or external action that determines what unfolds in your life, but the state of being you occupy. Everything you desire, every dream you long to see materialized already exists in the unseen. The only thing standing between you and its realization is the feeling of separation you hold. When you dissolve that separation by embodying the state of already having it, the outer world must conform. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for external confirmation before they allow themselves to feel fulfilled, successful, or loved. They say, once I have the money, then I will feel abundant. Once I find love, then I will feel worthy. Once my circumstances change, then I will be at peace. But this is completely backward. It is not the outer world that changes first, it is the inner world. The feelings you withhold from yourself, thinking they are dependent on outside events, are the very things that must come first. To live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled means to no longer see your desire as something far away. It is no longer something you hope for, pray for, or wonder about. It is something you claim, something you step into with full conviction. The mind may argue, but I do not see it yet. That is irrelevant. Your senses are simply reflecting the past, the old assumptions you once held. If you continue to define your reality by what your eyes see and your ears hear, you will remain trapped in the cycle of the old. The way out is to feel beyond appearances, to assume that what you desire is already yours. Close your eyes for a moment and think of something you deeply wish to experience. It may be wealth, love, success, or freedom. Now, instead of longing for it, step into it. Imagine the feeling of having it right now. How does it feel to wake up in the reality where your wish is fulfilled? What emotions arise? Is it joy, confidence, security, gratitude? Let those feelings flood your being. Do not allow the mind to interrupt with questions of how or when. Simply exist in that state. When you do this, something extraordinary begins to happen. The more you occupy the feeling of already having, the more natural it becomes. Your subconscious mind, which does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences, begins to accept it as truth. And once something is accepted as truth within, the outer world must shift to reflect it. This is not wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is a profound shift in identity. You are not pretending, you are becoming. The person who already has what you desire thinks, feels, and behaves differently than the person who is still longing. And as you persist in this new state of being, reality will reshape itself to match the energy you now embody. You may not see changes immediately, but do not let that deceive you. Just as a seed planted in the soil takes time to break through the surface, your new state of being is already at work beneath the visible. Those who do not understand this process will abandon their assumption too soon, returning to doubt and delay. But those who persist, those who refuse to return to the old state of lack, will witness the miraculous unfold before their very eyes. Everything you seek is already here. The question is, will you claim it? Will you allow yourself to feel it before you see it? If you can answer yes, if you can step into the energy of already being, doing, and having all that you desire, then you will come to understand the greatest truth of all. Your state of being creates your world. Everything you desire, everything you believe to be in your future already exists. It is not waiting for you somewhere in time. It is here now in the unseen, waiting for you to recognize it, claim it, and assume it as real. The greatest illusion is the belief that the future is separate from you, that it is something ahead of you, something you must reach. But the truth is that all power, all creation, all possibility exist in this present moment. The only thing that determines whether you experience your desired reality is your ability to assume its reality now. Most people live their lives projecting their desires into the future, always thinking in terms of one day. They say, one day I will be wealthy, one day I will be loved, one day I will be successful. And because they place their desires outside of the present moment, they keep them at a distance. They do not realize that by assuming their desires are in the future, they are also assuming that they are not here now. And as long as they continue to think that way, they will forever chase a tomorrow that never arrives. The secret to manifesting is to collapse time, to stop waiting and start being. You must understand that the version of you who already has what you desire is not separate from you. It is a state of consciousness that you can step into at any moment. When you assume that what you desire is already real, already done, you shift into alignment with it, and because the outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state, it must, in time, mirror your new assumption. To assume your desire is real now does not mean pretending or forcing belief. It means fully embodying the energy of already having it. It means thinking from your desire rather than thinking of it. The difference is subtle but profound. When you think of your desire, you are an observer, someone who acknowledges that what they want exists but does not yet possess it. But when you think from your desire, you shift into the identity of the one who already has it. You no longer hope or wish, you know. Your mind may resist this idea. It will argue, but I don't see it yet. How can I believe in something that has not happened? This is where most people falter. They rely on their senses to confirm what is real, never realizing that the outer world is only a delayed reflection of the inner. You cannot wait for evidence before you assume something is true. You must declare it is real within, and only then will it take shape externally. Everything you experience is the result of past assumptions. If you want a new reality, you must adopt a new assumption now. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you shift your state of being. Be the person who already has what they desire, and the world will follow. This is the power of the present moment. It is the only point of creation. The past no longer exists except in memory, and the future is not something ahead of you. It is something you are constantly shaping with your current state of consciousness. If you could fully grasp this, you would never again feel stuck or powerless. You would realize that nothing is missing, nothing is out of reach. The only thing required is your willingness to shift your awareness, to step into the now with the conviction that what you seek is already yours. Let go of the illusion of time. Assume it is done, and the world will rearrange itself to make it so. Your thoughts are not passive. They are not fleeting, meaningless whispers in the background of your mind. They are commands, direct orders issued to the unseen forces that shape your reality. Every thought you entertain with conviction, every assumption you persist in is an instruction given to the subconscious mind, which in turn molds your life to reflect it. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly shaping your destiny through the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. Most people believe they are at the mercy of circumstances, that life happens to them, and that their thoughts are mere reactions to what they see. But this is the great misunderstanding. Your thoughts are not reflections of your reality. Your reality is a reflection of your thoughts. It simply accepts them as truth, question, or filter your thoughts. It simply accepts them as truth and works tirelessly to bring them into physical form. Consider the way the subconscious operates. It does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only responds to the impressions you feed it. This is why a nightmare can cause your body to react with fear, even though there is no real danger. Your subconscious accepts the imagined danger as real, and your body responds accordingly. Now apply this understanding to your waking life. If you constantly think thoughts of lack, struggle, or unworthiness, your subconscious mind will take those as instructions and shape your world to reflect them. This is why it is crucial to become aware of the thoughts you entertain. Every repeated thought becomes a command, reinforcing itself until it solidifies into belief. And once a belief is formed, it governs the way you experience reality. If you believe you are unlucky, your subconscious will orchestrate events that confirm that assumption. If you believe you are not worthy of success, you will subconsciously sabotage opportunities that could lead you there. Not because life is against you, but because you have instructed your subconscious to create a world where that belief remains true. Now consider the power of deliberately choosing your thoughts. If your subconscious is always listening, always responding, then why not issue commands that align with the life you truly desire? Instead of thinking in terms of limitations, start affirming the reality you wish to experience. Do not say, "I hope to be successful one day." That is not a command. It is uncertainty. Say, "I am successful now." Do not say, "I wish I had financial freedom." Instead declare, "I am financially free." By doing this, you are programming your subconscious with new instructions, and as you persist in them, your outer world must shift to match. This does not mean forcing thoughts or battling negative emotions. It means redirecting your focus, becoming intentional about what you feed your mind, and disciplining yourself to reject thoughts that contradict your desired reality. Just as you would not plant weeds in a garden and expect flowers to grow, you cannot fill your mind with doubts and expect success to flourish. Guard your thoughts as you would guard something precious, for they are the seeds of your future. If you could understand that every thought you dwell upon is a cause, and every experience in your life is an effect, you would begin to take your mental activity seriously. You would no longer allow your mind to wander aimlessly into fear, worry, and self-doubt. You would choose thoughts of abundance, love, and certainty, knowing that the universe is responding to them as instruction. Your destiny is not something you wait for, it is something you create moment by moment, thought by thought. Choose wisely and the world will rearrange itself to reflect the reality you have commanded. One of the greatest barriers to manifestation is the mind's obsession with control. Its need to figure out how things will unfold, how the pieces will come together, how the path will be laid out. This need for control is rooted in doubt. It is the belief that if you do not personally arrange every detail, your desire may not materialize. But this thinking is precisely what blocks the very thing you wish to bring into existence. Understand this: your role in the process of creation is not to micromanage the details, but to assume the end result is already done. It is not your job to determine how your desire will come to pass. It is only your job to dwell in the certainty that it will. When you attach yourself to the how, you are operating from the level of logic, of reason, of human limitation. But manifestation does not work through logic. It works through unseen forces far beyond what the conscious mind can comprehend. If you were planting a seed in the soil, would you spend every moment digging it up to check if it is growing? Would you demand to know exactly how the roots are forming beneath the surface? No. You would plant the seed, water it, and trust that nature will take care of the rest. The same principle applies to manifestation. Your desire is the seed. Your belief is the water. But if you constantly question how it will happen, you disrupt the process, just as pulling a seed out of the soil would prevent it from growing. When you truly trust, you release all attachment to the mechanics of manifestation. You stop questioning whether the right people will appear, whether the right opportunities will align, whether the steps will make sense. You simply assume it is already done, and you move forward as if it were inevitable. And when you do this, the unseen forces of the universe begin to arrange circumstances in ways that defy logic. There is an intelligence greater than your conscious mind at work, one that does not operate through struggle, effort, or worry. It works through alignment. It knows the shortest, most effortless path to bring your desire into reality, but it can only do so if you step out of the way. If you cling to doubts, if you insist on figuring everything out, you disrupt the natural flow. The more you let go, the more you allow this intelligence to work on your behalf. Think of a river. When you are in the current, you can either surrender to the flow or fight against it. The current already knows where it is going. It does not need your interference. But if you resist, if you try to swim upstream, you create struggle for yourself. In the same way, when you let go of the how and trust, you move effortlessly with the current of creation. Things begin to unfold naturally, often in ways you never could have planned. This is why those who master manifestation do not spend time worrying about details. They do not concern themselves with whether their desire is realistic. They do not analyze every step. They hold the end result in their mind and trust that the bridge of events will unfold in perfect timing. They do not chase opportunities. They become the person who already has what they desire, and the right opportunities come to them. Detachment from the how is not about being passive. It is about stepping into a higher state of knowing. It is about recognizing that your limited perspective cannot see the infinite possibilities available to you. The moment you release your grip on the details, you make space for the miraculous. The path will reveal itself not through force, but through effortless alignment. So release the need to control. Assume your desire is already yours. Trust that the unseen forces are arranging everything in perfect order. And when the time is right, you will see that the manifestation of your desire was never in question. It was always destined to unfold. Faith is the unseen force that shapes reality. It is the bridge between what is and what will be. Most people falter because they allow their faith to waver when circumstances do not change immediately. They look at the world around them, see no evidence of progress, and begin to doubt. But this is the great misunderstanding. The external world is merely a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It does not dictate what is possible. It only shows what has been accepted up to this point. If you wish to create a new reality, you must persist in your assumption, despite what the world seems to tell you. Understand that every transformation begins in the unseen. Just as a seed does not immediately sprout the moment it is planted, your desires do not always materialize instantly. There is a gestation period, a time where unseen forces are moving, shifting, arranging circumstances to bring your assumption into physical form. This is where faith is required. It is easy to believe in something when there is visible proof, but true power lies in holding the vision before any evidence appears. Doubt is what weakens creation. It interrupts the process. When you question whether your assumption will come to pass, you are sending mixed signals to your subconscious. One moment you declare your desire as done, the next you wonder if it will happen at all. This inconsistency prevents manifestation because the subconscious mind does not work with uncertainty. It responds only to what is persistently impressed upon it. If you wish to see change, you must assume the reality you desire with conviction and refuse to entertain opposing thoughts. Consider a sculptor working on a masterpiece. At first, the block of stone looks nothing like the finished vision. If the sculptor were to doubt halfway through and abandon the work, the masterpiece would never emerge. But with persistence, every strike of the chisel brings the vision closer to form. Manifestation works the same way. You must continue holding the inner image, refining it, believing in it, even when there is no visible proof. Many people give up just before their manifestation is about to break through. They hold faith for a while, but when the external world does not change quickly enough, they revert to their old assumptions. They let doubt creep in, and in doing so, they cancel out the progress they have made. This is why persistence is key. The moment you assume something to be true, it begins to take shape in the unseen. If you persist, it must harden into fact, it must come to pass. Faith does not mean forcing yourself to believe something against all logic. It means knowing that reality is shaped from within. It means refusing to let appearances dictate your belief. If you can see something clearly in your mind and persist in that assumption, the world will eventually conform to it. Think of the great inventors, visionaries, and leaders throughout history. They did not wait for external proof before believing in their ideas. They held firm to their vision, even when others doubted them. They persisted when there was no evidence of success. And because they refused to waver, their visions became reality. You must do the same. Hold firm in your assumption, no matter what the world appears to show you. If the external does not yet reflect your desire, it only means the process is still unfolding. Do not be deceived by appearances. The moment you accept something is true within, it is set in motion. And if you refuse to waver, if you persist in faith, it must materialize. This is the law. What you assume with conviction must come to pass. Not by chance, not by luck, but by the unshakable truth that the unseen shapes the seen. So stand firm. Do not look to the world for confirmation. Look within. Persist and watch as your assumptions transform into reality before your very eyes. Everything you desire is already within you. The reality you seek is not something to chase, it is something to embody. Your energy, your assumptions, and your unwavering faith are the forces that shape the world around you. Shift your energy and the outer world must conform. Live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled and it will become your experience. Recognize that the present moment holds all power, for the future is simply a projection of your current state of being. Your thoughts are commands to the universe, shaping your destiny with every assumption you accept as true. Let go of the need to control how things will unfold, for the unseen forces are already working in your favor. Your only task is to hold firm in your vision, persisting with unwavering faith, knowing that what you assume must come to pass. Do not be deceived by appearances. Do not let doubt shake your conviction. Your inner world is the master key to all that you seek. Stand strong in the knowing that your reality is created from within, and the world will reflect it in due time. Trust, persist, and watch as your desired future manifests before your very eyes. Thank you.
My friends, let us embark on a journey of discovery, a journey that reveals the most powerful way to respond to those who have caused you pain. In this moment, let us not dwell in anger, resentment, or the desire to retaliate. Instead, let us learn how to rise above, how to transcend the insult, and how to emerge victorious, not over them but within ourselves. The best revenge, my friends, is not found in retaliation, anger, or attempts to even the score. It is not about meeting their actions with equal force or sinking to their level in the hope of inflicting the same pain they gave you. No, the most profound and lasting revenge lies in rising above, in transcending the petty actions of others, and becoming so elevated in your own life that their attempts to harm you become insignificant, mere specks in the grand tapestry of your existence. To rise above is to choose mastery over reaction. When someone hurts you, they often aim to provoke a response. Their words or actions are designed to pull you into a cycle of conflict, where your energy is drained and your peace disrupted. But what happens when you refuse to engage? What happens when you rise above their reach? You become untouchable. Their power over you evaporates, and their actions lose meaning because they fail to achieve the effect they intended. So, rising above does not mean ignoring what happened or pretending it did not affect you. Instead, it is a conscious choice to prioritize your growth and well-being over temporary emotions like anger or vengeance. It requires an inner strength that says, I will not allow this to define me. I will not let their actions dictate the course of my life. In doing so, you reclaim your power. For as long as you dwell on their actions, you are giving them control, But the moment you focus on your ascent, you break free from their grasp. There is a profound wisdom in understanding that life is not about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. When someone wrongs you, they reveal more about themselves than they do about you. Their actions come from a place of pain, insecurity, or ignorance. To retaliate is to step into the same energy that caused their behavior in the first place. But to rise above is to transcend it entirely, to stand as a beacon of strength and dignity, untarnished by the negativity they try to project onto you. Imagine this: someone throws mud at you, hoping to see you covered in filth. If you stand there and throw mud back, both of you end up dirty. But if you walk away, untouched and unbothered, they are left to deal with their own mess. Rising above is like walking away from the mud fight. It is the ultimate act of self-respect and wisdom. The beauty of rising above lies in its quiet power. It is not about proving anything to anyone. It is not about showing them you are better or stronger. It is about living in a way that their actions no longer matter. When you channel your energy into your own growth and success, you create a life so fulfilling and extraordinary that their attempts to hurt you fade into irrelevance. You become a testament to the fact that no one can diminish you unless you allow it. This path requires a deep understanding of yourself. It demands that you let go of the need for external validation or the desire to teach them a lesson. The truth is, life will handle that for you. People who act from malice or harm will eventually face the consequences of their actions, not because you intervened, but because the universe operates on the principle of balance. Your role is not to enforce justice, but to rise so high that their actions no longer reach you. When you rise above, you transform pain into purpose. You take the hurt they caused and use it as fuel to become better, stronger, and more resilient. Every step you take toward your dreams, every moment of joy you create for yourself, is a quiet but powerful statement: I am greater than what was done to me. This is not revenge in the traditional sense, it is transcendence. It is the kind of revenge that heals rather than destroys. Let them see you rise, not because you want to prove them wrong, but because rising is your nature. It is your destiny to grow, to evolve, and to shine. Their attempts to hurt you are but fleeting shadows in the radiant light of your ascent. They may look at you from afar, wondering how you managed to thrive despite their efforts to pull you down. And in that moment, they will realize that their actions had no power over you. This is the sweetest revenge, not in their suffering but in your joy, not in their downfall but in your rise. You show them and the world that nothing can keep you from fulfilling your potential. In choosing to rise above, you not only free yourself but also inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of strength, grace, and resilience. So rise, my friends. Rise above the pettiness, the hurt, and the pain. Rise so high that those who sought to harm you become mere spectators to your greatness. And as you rise, you will find that the best revenge is not revenge at all. It is the profound, unshakable peace that comes from knowing you have chosen to live a life of purpose, power, and grace. The journey of healing begins not by seeking change in the external world, but by turning inward and transforming yourself. When someone causes you pain, it is easy to fixate on their actions, to analyze their motives, or to plan your response. But this outward focus often leads to frustration and bitterness because it keeps you tethered to the very thing you wish to escape. True liberation comes when you redirect your attention inward and commit to inner transformation. This is where your greatest power lies. Inner transformation is not about denying the hurt you feel or pretending that nothing happened. It is about acknowledging your pain with honesty and compassion, and then choosing to rise above it by reshaping your inner world. The actions of others can only affect you to the extent that you allow them to shape your beliefs and self-perception. When you transform within, you change the way you perceive their actions, and in doing so, you free yourself from their hold. The first step in this transformation is understanding that external events are merely reflections of your inner state. Life mirrors your beliefs, fears, and expectations. When someone hurts you, it may feel like an attack from the outside, but their actions often highlight areas within you that need healing. Perhaps it touches an old wound, a hidden insecurity, or a belief that you are unworthy. By recognizing this, you shift from seeing yourself as a victim to seeing the situation as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me about myself? What beliefs or patterns is it revealing? These questions are not about blaming yourself, but about taking responsibility for your inner state. When you identify the beliefs that have allowed this pain to take root, you can begin to release them. This process may feel uncomfortable because it requires honesty and vulnerability, but it is through this discomfort that true healing occurs. As you begin to transform within, you will notice a profound shift in your perspective. The actions of others will no longer carry the same weight because you are no longer looking to them for validation or fulfillment. Inner transformation teaches you that your worth is intrinsic and cannot be diminished by the opinions or actions of others. When you fully embrace this truth, you become immune to the negativity of those who seek to harm you. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in inner transformation. Forgiveness is not about condoning the behavior of others or forgetting what they did. It is about releasing the emotional burden that their actions have placed on you. Holding on to anger or resentment keeps you trapped in the past, replaying the hurt over and over in your mind. Forgiveness breaks this cycle, allowing you to reclaim your peace. It is a gift you give to yourself, not to the other person. Transforming within also means reclaiming your power. When you focus on the actions of others, you give them control over your emotions and your life. Inner transformation shifts that focus back to you. It reminds you that no one has the power to hurt you unless you give them that power. By nurturing your inner world, you build an unshakable foundation of self-worth, self-love, and self-respect. From this place of strength, you can face any challenge with grace and confidence. To cultivate inner transformation, it is essential to develop practices that support your growth. Meditation, journaling, and self-reflection are powerful tools for exploring your inner world and gaining clarity about the beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. Visualization is another valuable practice. Envision yourself as the person you want to become: strong, peaceful, and unbothered by the negativity of others. Feel the emotions associated with this vision and embody them in your daily life. Gratitude is another key to inner transformation. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. Even in the face of pain, there is always something to be grateful for: a lesson learned, a strength discovered, or a new perspective gained. Gratitude transforms your outlook and helps you see challenges as stepping stones to growth. As you commit to your inner transformation, you will find that the actions of those who hurt you no longer define you. Their power over you diminishes, not because they have changed, but because you have changed. You have risen above their negativity, and in doing so, you have freed yourself from their influence. The beauty of inner transformation is that it not only heals you, but also elevates every aspect of your life. It empowers you to create a reality that reflects your highest self, one filled with peace, joy, and abundance. It also inspires those around you to embark on their own journey of transformation, creating a ripple effect of positivity and growth. Focusing on your inner transformation is the most profound response to those who hurt you. It is not about them, it is about you. It is about reclaiming your power, healing your heart, and stepping into the fullness of who you are. And as you transform within, you will discover that you no longer need revenge, because the life you have created for yourself is its own reward. In a world that often rewards noise, reaction, and haste, there lies a profound and transformative power in silence. It is not merely the absence of words, but a deliberate and conscious choice to hold your peace, to withhold your energy from situations that do not serve your growth, and to wield your silence as a tool of strength and wisdom. Mastering the art of silence is not about withdrawing from life, it is about engaging with life on your terms, with clarity and intention. Is often misunderstood as weakness, passivity, or avoidance. But true silence is an act of immense strength. It requires self-control to resist the urge to react, especially in moments of conflict or provocation. When someone seeks to hurt you with words or actions, their power lies in your response. If you retaliate, you validate their behavior, fueling the cycle of negativity. but when you remain silent, you take away their power. Your silence says, I choose not to participate in this chaos. In doing so, you rise above the noise and preserve your peace. Mastering silence begins with self-awareness. It is about recognizing the times when speaking would bring no benefit, when words would only escalate tension or deplete your energy. Silence does not mean suppression of emotions, but the channeling of those emotions into something constructive. When you feel the urge to react, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what purpose will my words serve in this moment? More often than not, you will find that silence carries more weight than any words you could speak. That silence also creates space for reflection. In the quiet, you can hear the whispers of your intuition, the inner voice that guides you toward wisdom and clarity. When you fill every moment with noise, whether through conversation, distractions, or reactive thoughts, you drown out this inner guidance. But in the stillness of silence, you connect with your true self. You gain perspective, allowing you to see situations for what they are rather than through the lens of heightened emotions. The art of silence extends beyond conflict. It is a way of living with intentionality. In a world where everyone is vying for attention, silence sets you apart. It is a mark of confidence and self-assurance, showing that you do not need to constantly explain, justify, or prove yourself to others. When you withhold unnecessary words, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Your presence becomes more powerful because you speak only when your words have value. It can also be a tool for observation. When you refrain from speaking, you sharpen your ability to listen not just to others but to the subtle dynamics of a situation. You become attuned to the unspoken truths, the underlying emotions, and the motivations that words often conceal. This heightened awareness allows you to respond, not react, when the time is right. Your silence becomes a source of insight and strategy, enabling you to navigate life with wisdom and grace. There is a profound elegance in silence. It allows you to maintain your dignity in the face of provocation. When others try to pull you into their drama or provoke you with their negativity, your silence communicates that you will not lower yourself to their level. It is not about ignoring them, but about prioritizing your inner peace over temporary satisfaction. Silence is not an act of retreat, it is a stance of strength that says, I know my worth, and I will not waste it on this. Mastering the art of silence also teaches patience. It is a practice of restraint that allows you to wait for the right moment to act or speak. In silence, you cultivate the ability to sit with uncertainty and trust that clarity will come in time. You learn that not every situation requires an immediate response, and that sometimes the most powerful statement is no statement at all. Silence is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It is about engaging with it more intentionally. It is about recognizing that your words and energy are precious and should not be squandered on things that do not align with your highest self. When you master silence, you become a person of substance. Your presence alone speaks volumes because it is rooted in self-assurance and clarity. In silence, you also find healing. The noise of life can often drown out your inner voice, leaving you disconnected from yourself. But in the stillness of silence, you can confront your emotions, process your experiences, and release what no longer serves you. Silence is a sanctuary where you can recharge, reflect, and realign with your purpose. Mastering the art of silence is about reclaiming your power. It is about choosing when and how to engage with the world in a way that honors your energy and values. It is about understanding that not everything deserves your attention, and that sometimes the loudest statement you can make is your quiet, unwavering presence. In mastering silence, you master yourself, and there is no greater strength than that. Manifesting a better reality begins with a fundamental realization: the outer world you experience is but a reflection of your inner world. It mirrors your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and the stories you tell yourself each day. When you grasp this truth, you reclaim your power as the creator of your life. You are not bound by the circumstances you see today. You have the ability to reshape your world by first transforming your inner state. Once you have a clear vision, the next step is belief. Belief is the foundation upon which manifestation is built. You cannot create a reality you do not believe is possible for you. Too often people let doubt and fear dilute their dreams. They say they want abundance but secretly believe they are unworthy. They desire love but carry the fear of rejection. These conflicting beliefs send mixed signals to the universe, delaying or even blocking the manifestation process. To align your beliefs with your desires, you must consciously replace limiting thoughts with empowering ones. Start by observing your internal dialogue. What are the recurring thoughts you have about yourself and your life? If they are rooted in scarcity, self-doubt, or fear, challenge them. Affirm to yourself, I am worthy of the life I desire, and repeat it until it becomes your truth. The more you cultivate empowering beliefs, the more you align with the frequency of your desired reality. Emotions play a crucial role in manifestation. Your emotions are the energy that fuels your vision and propels it into reality. The universe does not respond to mere words, it responds to the vibration of your feelings. If you want to manifest joy, you must feel joyful now. If you want abundance, feel abundant even before it appears in your bank account. This is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about intentionally cultivating emotions that match the reality you wish to create. Visualization is a powerful tool for embodying these emotions. Each day, take a few moments to close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself living your desired reality. See the details, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions associated with that life. Visualize as if it is happening now, not in some distant future. When you consistently embody the feelings of your desired reality, you draw it closer to you. Another vital aspect of manifesting a better reality is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, raising your vibration and aligning you with the energy of receiving. Each day, take time to appreciate the blessings in your life, no matter how small. Gratitude is a powerful affirmation to the universe that you are ready for more. It is a reminder that even as you strive for a better reality, there is beauty and goodness in the present moment. Remember that your current reality does not define you. It is merely a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. If you do not like what you see, do not despair. You are not bound by your past. You have the power to create a new future. Every moment is an opportunity to choose differently, to align with your highest self, and to manifest a life that reflects your truest desires. Manifesting a better reality is not an overnight process, but a continuous practice of aligning your inner world with your aspirations. It requires patience, persistence, and unwavering faith in your ability to create. As you commit to this journey, you will begin to see subtle shifts, opportunities appearing, relationships improving, and challenges dissolving. These are signs that your efforts are working. Trust the process, stay aligned with your vision, and watch as your better reality unfolds before your eyes. Forgiveness is one of the most profound acts of liberation you can ever grant yourself. It is not a gift you give to those who have wronged you, but a powerful release that sets your own spirit free. Often misunderstood as condoning or excusing the actions of others, true forgiveness transcends the external world. It is an inner journey, a choice to let go of the heavy burdens of resentment, anger, and pain that weigh down your soul. When someone hurts you, it is natural to feel anger and betrayal. These emotions are valid, and acknowledging them is an important part of the healing process. But holding on to them indefinitely only deepens your wounds. Resentment acts like a chain, binding you to the very person or situation you wish to escape. You may think that by refusing to forgive, you are holding the other person accountable, but in reality, you are keeping yourself trapped in a cycle of suffering. It is not about forgetting the wrong or pretending it did not happen. It is not about reconciling with someone who continues to harm you. It is about freeing your heart from the poison of bitterness. When you refuse to forgive, the person who hurt you continues to hold power over your thoughts, emotions, and even your well-being. By choosing forgiveness, you reclaim that power. You take control of your narrative and release the hold that the past has on you. Forgiveness begins with a decision. It is a conscious choice to let go of the story that keeps replaying in your mind, the story that says, I was wronged, and I cannot move on until justice is served. This story may feel justified, but it also keeps you anchored to pain. Decide instead to tell a new story. I choose to heal. I choose peace over pain. I choose freedom over resentment. This decision does not mean that forgiveness happens instantly. It is a process, and like any journey, it requires patience and compassion for yourself. Start by acknowledging the hurt you feel and the impact it has had on you. Forgiveness does not require you to minimize your pain or pretend that it does not exist. Instead, it invites you to honor your emotions while recognizing that holding on to them is no longer serving you. As you move through this process, reflect on the humanity of the person who hurt you. This does not mean excusing their behavior, but understanding that they too are a flawed and imperfect being. Often people act out of their own pain, ignorance, or fear. By seeing their actions as a reflection of their struggles, rather than a statement of your worth, you can begin to detach from the personal sting of their behavior. Forgiveness is also an act of self-love. It is a way of saying to yourself, I deserve peace. I deserve joy. I will not let this wound define me. When you forgive, you release the emotional baggage that weighs you down and create space for healing and growth. You open the door to new possibilities, allowing love, gratitude, and happiness to flow into your life once more. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You may carry guilt or shame over mistakes you have made or opportunities you feel you have missed. But just as you extend compassion to others, you must extend it to yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you fell short, for the choices you wish you had made differently. Understand that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Forgiveness of self is a powerful act of reclaiming your wholeness. It is not a one-time event. Old wounds may resurface, and feelings of anger or sadness may reappear. When this happens, remind yourself of your commitment to let go. Forgiveness is a practice, a daily decision to choose peace over pain. Each time you reaffirm this choice, you strengthen your capacity for compassion and resilience. You align yourself with the highest version of yourself. You step into a place of empowerment where the actions of others no longer dictate your emotional state. You realize that your peace and happiness are not contingent on external circumstances, but are yours to claim. Let forgiveness free you, and watch as the chains of resentment fall away, leaving you lighter, stronger, and ready to embrace the fullness of life. Reclaiming your power begins with turning your focus inward. When life presents challenges, betrayals, or disappointments, it's tempting to direct your energy outward toward those who hurt you, toward circumstances that feel unfair, or toward problems that seem insurmountable. But true empowerment is not found in controlling the external world. It lies in mastering your internal state. By shifting your focus to yourself, you reclaim the authority over your life that was always yours. It starts with recognizing where your energy has been going. Every time you dwell on what someone said or did, every moment you spend rehashing the past or worrying about the future, you are giving away a piece of your power. You cannot change what has already happened, and you cannot control the actions of others. But you can control how you respond, how you think, and where you direct your attention. This realization is the first step towards self-focus. When you focus on yourself, you stop seeking validation or resolution from the outside world. You understand that your worth is not determined by the opinions or actions of others. No one has the right to define you, and no external event has the power to diminish your value unless you allow it. By turning inward, you cultivate a deep sense of self-respect and self-reliance. You learn to trust yourself, to honor your needs, and to make choices that align with your values and aspirations. One of the most transformative aspects of self-focus is the ability to set boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about protecting your energy and prioritizing your well-being. When you reclaim your power, you no longer feel obligated to say yes to everything or to tolerate behavior that disrespects you. You recognize that your time, energy, and peace are precious resources, and you become intentional about how you spend them. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love, a way of saying I matter, and I deserve to be treated with respect. Focusing on yourself also means taking responsibility for your happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness depends on external circumstances, a promotion, a relationship, or an apology from someone who wronged you. But external sources of happiness are fleeting and unreliable. True happiness comes from within, from a sense of purpose, gratitude, and self-acceptance. By reclaiming your power, you take ownership of your emotional state. You stop waiting for others to make you happy, and instead create a life that brings you joy. As you reclaim your power, you will notice a shift in your perspective. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of your reality. You understand that life is not about what happens to you, but about how you respond. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating. It gives you the confidence to face challenges, the resilience to overcome setbacks, and the wisdom to learn from every experience. Reclaiming power through self-focus is not about isolation or selfishness, it is about alignment. When you are aligned with your true self, you radiate confidence, peace, and purpose. This not only benefits you but also positively impacts those around you. By focusing on yourself, you set an example of what it means to live authentically and intentionally. You are your greatest investment. By turning your focus inward, you reclaim your power and unlock the limitless potential within you. Life may still present challenges, but when you are grounded in self-focus, you face them with strength, grace, and clarity. This is how you create a life that is not only successful but deeply fulfilling. In the journey of reclaiming your power, the key lies in turning inward, focusing on your growth, and freeing yourself from the chains of resentment or external validation. Through silence, forgiveness, self-transformation, and an unwavering commitment to manifest a better reality, you step into your true strength. This path is not about changing others or seeking revenge. It's about elevating yourself to a state of peace, purpose, and empowerment. Thank you for taking the time to embark on this journey of empowerment and self-discovery. Remember, the power to transform your life has always been within you. Choose to rise, choose to heal, and choose to live as the best version of yourself. Imagine for a moment that all the limitations you've placed on your life are but illusions, barriers you've unconsciously accepted. Now consider this: the infinite power of God resides not outside of you, but within you, waiting to be awakened. This power is ready to reshape your reality in ways that will leave you in awe. The infinite power within you is the key to transforming your life. It's not something external or distant, it's an ever-present force that resides at the core of your being, waiting for your recognition and activation. This power is God's essence, manifesting in and through you, capable of creating realities that surpass all logic and understanding. To grasp this truth is to step into a life of miracles, where the boundaries of possibility dissolve, and the extraordinary becomes your everyday experience. Many go through life feeling powerless, searching for answers outside of themselves, believing that external circumstances or other people hold the key to their happiness. But this is a grand misunderstanding. The truth is, everything you seek already exists within you. The creative force that brought the universe into being, the same power that causes the sun to rise and the stars to shine, dwells in you as your very essence. It is the divine spark that connects you to the infinite source of all creation. This power operates through the medium of your imagination and belief. Whatever you imagine with clarity and conviction, and believe to be true, will inevitably find its way into your experience. It's not a question of whether the power works, it always works, as consistently and reliably as the law of gravity. The real question is, are you using it consciously or unconsciously? Are you directing it toward the life you desire? Or are you allowing it to be shaped by doubt, fear, and negative patterns? The mind is the gateway to this infinite power. Your thoughts and feelings are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious. When you think thoughts of abundance, joy, and love, and when you feel as though these things are already yours, you activate the creative process. Your subconscious, being infinitely intelligent, orchestrates events, circumstances, and opportunities that align with your inner state. It doesn't question or analyze, it simply responds to the impressions you impress upon it. This is why it's vital to guard your thoughts and emotions. The power within you is neutral. It will create whatever you focus on, whether it's something you desire or something you fear. Many people unknowingly misuse this power, focusing on lack, limitation, and what they don't want, and then wondering why these things show up in their lives. But when you understand that the outer world is merely a reflection of your inner world, you take back your power. You realize that by changing your inner state, you change your external reality. Faith is the cornerstone of this process. Faith is more than a religious concept. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. It's the bridge that connects your current reality to the reality you wish to experience. When you have faith, you no longer need to see physical evidence to believe in your desire's fulfillment. You trust in the unseen, in the invisible workings of the infinite power within you. This trust allows you to relax and let go of the need to control every detail. You don't need to know how or when your desire will manifest. You only need to hold the vision and remain aligned with the feeling of having it. The how and when are not your concern. They are the domain of the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all creation. Your role is to remain steadfast in your faith and to act as though your desire is already a reality. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the external world seems to contradict your inner vision. This is natural, but it is not a reason to give up. Doubt is simply a test of your faith, an opportunity to strengthen your conviction. When faced with doubt, return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Remind yourself that the infinite power within you is greater than any obstacle or challenge. What you focus on expands, so focus on the reality you wish to create. This power doesn't operate in a vacuum. It works in perfect harmony with the universe. When you align with it, you'll notice synchronicities, unexpected events, and opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. They are the physical manifestation of the creative process at work. As you continue to trust and align with this power, these synchronicities will become more frequent and more remarkable. It's important to understand that this power is not limited to a select few. It's not reserved for the special or chosen. It is available to every person, regardless of their background, circumstances, or beliefs. The only requirement is your willingness to acknowledge and use it. The moment you decide to claim this power as your own, you step into a new way of living, one where you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but are the deliberate creator of your reality. Living in alignment with this power requires a shift in perspective. It requires you to stop looking at the world as something separate from you and to see it instead as a mirror reflecting your inner state. It requires you to take responsibility for your life, not in a burdensome way, but in an empowering way. You are not a victim of life, you are the author of it. Every thought, every feeling, and every belief is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. As you cultivate this awareness, you will begin to see evidence of the infinite power within you. You'll notice how effortlessly things fall into place when you align with your desires. You'll feel a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that you are always supported by a force far greater than yourself. This is the essence of true freedom, not freedom from challenges, but freedom in knowing that no challenge is greater than the power within you. The infinite power within you is the expression of God's love for you. It is a reminder that you are not separate from the divine, but are one with it. This power is not something you need to earn or achieve. It is your birthright. All that is required is your recognition of it and your willingness to use it for good. When you fully embrace this truth, your life will transform in ways that defy explanation. You will step into a realm of limitless possibilities, where miracles are the norm and where the extraordinary becomes your everyday reality. This is the power of God within you, an infinite, creative force that is always ready to bless, guide, and uplift you. The question is not whether this power is real. The question is whether you will claim it as your own. Life is full of surprises, yet we often cling to routines, expectations, and familiar patterns. We create mental frameworks of how we think things should unfold, attaching ourselves to specific outcomes and timelines. But the truth is, the divine force that governs the universe operates in ways far beyond human comprehension. when we open ourselves to the idea that the unexpected can bring about our greatest blessings, we allow this force to work its wonders in our lives. When you set an intention or focus on a desire, you ignite a powerful creative process. But this process does not follow the linear path the human mind expects. Instead, it weaves through infinite possibilities, drawing together the perfect people, places, and opportunities to bring your desire into being. This weaving often defies logic and reason, which is why it's so important to release control and surrender to the flow. Surrender does not mean giving up, it means letting go of rigid expectations about how things should unfold. It means trusting that the divine intelligence knows the best way to bring your desires to life. Too often, people miss the blessings that come their way because they are so fixated on one specific outcome. They fail to see that the unexpected might be the answer they've been waiting for, packaged in a form they didn't anticipate. Consider the countless stories of individuals who faced what seemed like setbacks, only to discover later that these were setups for something far greater. A job loss leads to a career breakthrough. A closed door reveals a path to a better opportunity. A perceived failure becomes the catalyst for unimaginable success. These moments remind us that the unexpected is not something to fear but something to embrace. It is often the hand of the divine moving in ways we cannot yet see. The unexpected also teaches us to remain present. When we are rigid in our thinking, we become preoccupied with the future, constantly worrying about outcomes and missing the magic of the moment. But when we embrace the unexpected, we allow ourselves to live fully in the now. We become more attuned to the subtle nudges of intuition and the signs that guide us toward our desires. These signs often appear in the most unlikely forms: a chance encounter, a random comment, or an intuitive feeling that defies logic. Opening yourself to the unexpected requires cultivating a mindset of faith and curiosity. Faith allows you to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't appear that way. Curiosity keeps you open to exploring new possibilities and seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. Together, these qualities create a powerful foundation for navigating the unknown. Faith is particularly important because it anchors you in the belief that the divine intelligence is always working in your favor. Even when circumstances seem chaotic or uncertain, faith reminds you that there is a higher order at play. It allows you to remain calm and centered, knowing that every twist and turn is leading you closer to your desires. Faith transforms obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into setups for breakthroughs. On the other hand, keeps you open to seeing the beauty and potential in every situation. When you approach life with curiosity, you stop labeling experiences as good or bad and start viewing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Curiosity invites you to explore the unexpected with a sense of wonder rather than fear. It helps you recognize that every experience, no matter how unusual or challenging, is a part of your journey. The unexpected often challenges our beliefs and pushes us out of our comfort zones. It asks us to let go of old patterns and step into new ways of being. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also where the greatest growth occurs. When you embrace the unexpected, you allow yourself to evolve into the person you are meant to be. You discover strengths you didn't know you had and develop resilience that prepares you for even greater blessings. It's also important to remember that the unexpected doesn't always come in dramatic or life-changing events. Sometimes it shows up in small, seemingly insignificant moments: a sudden insight, an unexpected act of kindness, or a new perspective on an old problem. These moments, though subtle, have the power to shift your trajectory in profound ways. They remind you that the divine is always present, working behind the scenes to bring about your highest good. To fully embrace the unexpected, practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. It opens your heart to receive the blessings that are already in your life and prepares you to welcome even more. When you are grateful, you create a vibrational match with abundance, signaling to the universe that you are ready for more of the same. Gratitude also helps you see the hidden gifts in the unexpected, turning challenges into opportunities and surprises into blessings. Another way to cultivate openness to the unexpected is through visualization and affirmations. When you visualize your desires, don't get caught up in the details of how they will manifest. Instead, focus on the feeling of already having them. Trust that the divine intelligence will work out the how in the most extraordinary ways. Affirmations can also reinforce this trust, reminding you to stay open and receptive to the infinite possibilities around you. The beauty of the unexpected lies in its ability to expand your vision and deepen your connection to the divine. It reminds you that life is not a fixed script, but a dynamic, ever-unfolding masterpiece. When you release your need for control and embrace the mystery of the unknown, you allow the divine to surprise you in the most delightful ways. The unexpected is a gift. It challenges your assumptions, broadens your perspective, and brings you closer to your true self. It teaches you to trust in the infinite intelligence that guides all things and to see life as an adventure filled with endless possibilities. So the next time life surprises you, instead of resisting, lean into it. Trust that the unexpected is part of the divine plan, and know that it is leading you to something far greater than you could have imagined. Faith is the unseen force that bridges the gap between what is and what could be. It is the foundation upon which miracles are built, the invisible thread that connects your desires to their manifestation. Faith is more than mere belief. It is a deep, inner knowing that transcends logic and external circumstances. It is the assurance that what you seek is not only possible but already on its way to you, even if there is no evidence to support it yet. In life, we are often conditioned to rely on what we can see, touch, and measure. This reliance on the physical senses creates a limited perspective, making it difficult to trust in what we cannot yet perceive. But faith operates in the unseen realm, beyond the tangible. It asks you to believe in the reality of your desire before it manifests. This is not an act of blind optimism, but of conscious alignment with the infinite intelligence that governs all creation. Faith is the engine that drives your creative power. When you focus on a desire and believe in its fulfillment, you activate the creative forces of the universe. Your belief impresses upon the subconscious mind, which in turn begins to orchestrate events, opportunities, and circumstances to bring your desire into being. But this process requires unwavering faith. Doubt disrupts it, creating resistance that slows or even prevents manifestation. Faith is not passive, it is an active, dynamic force. It requires you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. This alignment is key because faith without corresponding action is incomplete. Acting in faith means moving through life as though your desire is already fulfilled. It means making decisions and taking steps that reflect your belief in its inevitability. This action is not forced or frantic, but inspired and guided by the deep inner knowing that your desire is on its way. Challenges and obstacles often arise as tests of faith. These moments are not signs of failure but opportunities to deepen your trust in the divine process. When faced with difficulty, it is easy to revert to doubt and fear. But faith asks you to stand firm, to see beyond appearances, and to hold on to the vision of your desired reality. It is in these moments of uncertainty that faith is strengthened, becoming the unshakable foundation upon which miracles are built. One of the greatest gifts of faith is the peace it brings. When you truly believe in the fulfillment of your desires, you no longer feel the need to worry or strive. You trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if the path is not yet clear. This trust allows you to let go of anxiety and to rest in the assurance that the universe is working in your favor. Faith transforms waiting into a joyful anticipation, a confident expectation that what you seek is already yours. Faith also expands your capacity to receive. Often, people limit themselves by focusing on what they think is possible rather than on what they truly desire. They let doubt and fear dictate the scope of their dreams, settling for less than they deserve. But faith removes these limitations, allowing you to dream boldly and expect abundantly. It opens your heart and mind to the infinite possibilities available to you, aligning you with the miraculous. Cultivating faith requires a shift in perspective. It means seeing beyond the physical world and recognizing the spiritual reality that underlies all things. It means understanding that the external world is a reflection of your internal state, and that by changing your inner beliefs, you can transform your outer circumstances. This perspective allows you to see challenges not as barriers, but as stepping stones, guiding you toward your desires. Gratitude is a powerful tool for strengthening faith. When you focus on what you already have and give thanks for it, you align yourself with abundance. Gratitude shifts your attention from lack to sufficiency, creating a vibrational match with the reality you wish to experience. It is an act of faith because it affirms that you trust in the goodness of life and the fulfillment of your desires. Visualization is another way to cultivate faith. When you visualize your desires as already fulfilled, you create a mental picture that impresses upon your subconscious mind. This image, combined with the feeling of having your desire, activates the creative process. Visualization helps you to see beyond appearances and to anchor your faith in the reality of your vision. Faith is also deeply connected to love. When you love yourself and others unconditionally, you align with the divine nature of the universe. This alignment strengthens your faith because it reminds you of your oneness with the source of all creation. Love dissolves fear and doubt, creating a clear channel for the miraculous to flow into your life. Faith is the bridge that connects your desires to their manifestation. It is the invisible force that allows you to move from hope to certainty, from longing to fulfillment. It is the assurance that the universe is always working in your favor, orchestrating events in ways you cannot yet see. Faith is the key to unlocking the infinite possibilities that are your birthright, the foundation upon which miracles are built. When you live in faith, you align yourself with the divine flow of life, opening the door to blessings beyond anything you could imagine. Trust in this process, even when the path is unclear. Hold on to your vision, even when doubt arises. Know that your faith is the catalyst that transforms the invisible into the visible, the unmanifested into the manifested. Through faith, you become a co-creator with the divine, stepping into a life where miracles are not the exception but the norm. Transformation begins within, through the renewal of the mind. Every change you seek in the outer world must first take root in the inner world of your thoughts and beliefs. The mind is the fertile soil where the seeds of transformation are planted, nurtured, and eventually brought to life. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. This renewal is not a mere adjustment of ideas, but a profound shift in consciousness that allows you to step into a new reality. The mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping your experience of life. Yet many allow their thoughts to be dictated by external circumstances, reacting to the world rather than creating from within. True transformation requires breaking free from this reactive state and taking control of your mental landscape. It is a deliberate process of identifying and discarding limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering truths that align with the life you desire. Renewing your mind begins with awareness. You must become conscious of the thoughts that dominate your inner dialogue. Are they rooted in fear, doubt, and lack? Or do they reflect love, faith, and abundance? Often, the mind is cluttered with habitual patterns of thinking that have been ingrained over years, even decades. These patterns may have served a purpose in the past, but they can become barriers to growth if left unchecked. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from these mental chains. Once you are aware of your thought patterns, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself whether your beliefs serve your highest good. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create? Many beliefs are not absolute truths, but interpretations shaped by past experiences, societal conditioning, or the opinions of others. By questioning the validity of these beliefs, you create space for new, empowering ideas to take root. Renewal of the mind requires a willingness to let go of the old to make way for the new. This can be uncomfortable, as the mind often clings to familiarity, even when it no longer serves you. Letting go is an act of trust, a surrender to the process of transformation. It is a recognition that the life you desire cannot coexist with the limitations of your current mindset. You must release what no longer aligns with your vision to make room for what does. Visualization is a powerful tool in the renewal process. When you visualize, you create a mental image of the reality you wish to experience. This image serves as a blueprint for your subconscious mind, guiding your thoughts and actions toward its fulfillment. Visualization is not just about imagining your desires, it is about feeling them as if they are already real. This feeling creates a vibrational match with your desired reality, drawing it closer to you? Affirmations are another effective method for renewing the mind. By repeating positive statements that reflect your desired reality, you reprogram your subconscious mind with empowering beliefs. Affirmations serve as reminders of your intentions, reinforcing the new thought patterns you wish to cultivate. They help to counteract the negative self-talk that often arises during the transformation process, keeping you focused and aligned with your vision. The renewal of the mind also requires consistency. Transformation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. It demands daily commitment to nurturing your new thoughts and beliefs, especially in the face of challenges. The old patterns will attempt to resurface, tempting you to revert to familiar ways of thinking. But with persistence, the new patterns will become the dominant force, shaping your reality in alignment with your desires. It is important to recognize that the renewal of the mind is a holistic process. It involves not only your thoughts but also your emotions and actions. Your emotions are powerful indicators of your mental state. When you feel joy, peace, and gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of your desires. Conversely, feelings of fear, anger, or despair signal a need to realign your thoughts with your vision. Your actions must also reflect the transformation you seek. Acting as though your desires are already fulfilled reinforces the new mental patterns you are cultivating. This alignment between thought, emotion, and action creates a harmonious flow that accelerates the manifestation of your desires. One of the most profound aspects of renewing your mind is the realization that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, the consciousness that chooses which ideas to entertain and which to release. This realization empowers you to step out of the victim mentality and into the role of a deliberate creator. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances or past experiences. You are the architect of your reality. Faith plays a crucial role in the renewal process. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the one you wish to create. It is the assurance that your efforts will bear fruit, even when the results are not yet visible. Faith allows you to persist in the face of doubt and to trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf. It is the foundation upon which transformation is built. Gratitude is another cornerstone of transformation. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present. This shift creates a sense of abundance, which attracts more of the same into your life. Gratitude also reinforces the new mental patterns you are cultivating, anchoring them in the present moment. As you renew your mind, you begin to see the world through a new lens. Challenges become opportunities for growth, and setbacks become stepping stones to success. You realize that life is not happening to you, but for you, offering countless opportunities for expansion and self-discovery. This shift in perspective is the essence of transformation. Transformation through the renewal of the mind is not just a change in circumstances, but a shift in your entire being. It is a return to your true self, the limitless creator within. By renewing your mind, you align with the divine flow of life, opening the door to infinite possibilities. Trust in the process, commit to the journey, and watch as your life transforms in ways beyond your imagination. Divine timing is one of life's greatest mysteries, a concept that challenges the human desire for control and instant gratification. It operates on a plane far beyond human comprehension, orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities in ways that align perfectly with the grand design of the universe. While we often strive to force outcomes or rush through life, divine timing reminds us that everything happens not when we want it to, but when it is meant to. It is a sacred rhythm, a cosmic dance that ensures the unfolding of events at precisely the right moment for the highest good. At the heart of divine timing is trust. It requires surrendering your need to dictate how and when your desires will manifest. This is not a passive resignation, but an active faith in the intelligence that governs all things. Divine timing operates in harmony with universal laws, aligning your desires with the right conditions, people, and opportunities. Trusting in this timing means releasing your attachment to the outcome and allowing the process to unfold naturally, without resistance or fear. Human impatience often stands in opposition to divine timing. In our fast-paced world, we are conditioned to seek immediate results, believing that delays signify failure or rejection. But in the realm of the divine, there are no delays, only preparation. What may appear as stagnation or denial is, in fact, the universe aligning all the necessary elements for the perfect manifestation of your desires. Divine timing ensures that you receive what you need, not merely what you want, and that it arrives in the form that will best serve your growth and fulfillment. One of the challenges of embracing divine timing is the uncertainty it brings. The human mind craves certainty, seeking reassurance through plans, schedules, and predictions. But divine timing often operates in the unseen realm, beyond the grasp of logic and reason. It requires you to let go of the need to know how or when your desires will materialize, and to rest in the assurance that the universe is always working on your behalf. This surrender is an act of profound trust, a recognition that the divine plan is infinitely wiser than your own. Patience is a vital companion to trust in divine timing. Patience is not merely waiting, but waiting with grace and confidence. It is the ability to hold on to your vision without wavering, even when there is no visible evidence of progress. Patience allows you to remain aligned with your desires, maintaining a state of faith and gratitude that attracts your desired reality. It is a powerful demonstration of your belief in the inevitability of divine timing, a silent affirmation that everything is unfolding as it should. The beauty of divine timing lies in its precision. When the time is right, doors that once seemed closed will open effortlessly. Opportunities will arise, connections will be made, and circumstances will align in ways that are beyond coincidence. These moments often feel like miracles, a testament to the perfection of divine orchestration. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable, as though the universe had been preparing the way all along. Divine timing is not an excuse for inaction. While it teaches us to trust and wait, it also calls us to prepare and align. Just as a gardener tends to the soil while waiting for the seeds to grow, you must nurture your inner world while awaiting the manifestation of your desires. This means cultivating the mindset, habits, and skills that align with the reality you wish to create. It means becoming the person who is ready to receive what you are asking for. Divine timing will bring the opportunities, but it is your responsibility to be prepared to embrace them. Resistance to divine timing often arises from fear of missing out, fear of failure, or fear of being forgotten. These fears stem from a limited perspective, a belief that time is running out, or that life is passing you by. But divine timing operates outside the constraints of human time. It is not bound by clocks or calendars, but flows in accordance with a higher order. Trusting in divine timing means releasing these fears and embracing the eternal nature of life. It is understanding that you are never too late or too early. You are always exactly where you need to be. Gratitude is a powerful tool for aligning with divine timing. When you focus on the blessings already present in your life, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. Gratitude creates a state of receptivity, allowing you to recognize and appreciate the small signs and synchronicities that confirm the universe is working on your behalf. It transforms waiting into a joyful anticipation, a celebration of what is to come. Gratitude reminds you that every moment, even the seemingly mundane or challenging ones, is part of the divine plan. Divine timing also teaches us the value of detours and delays. What may initially seem like obstacles often turn out to be redirections, guiding you toward a path that is more aligned with your purpose. These moments of waiting or rerouting are not punishments but blessings in disguise, offering opportunities for growth, reflection, and refinement. They remind you that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that every step, no matter how small, is part of the greater unfolding. As you align with divine timing, you begin to see life through a new lens. You recognize that every encounter, every experience, and every challenge serves a purpose. You see the interconnectedness of all things and the intricate web of events that leads to your desires. This perspective brings peace, as you no longer feel the need to force or rush, but instead trust in the natural flow of life. Divine timing is a reminder of the infinite wisdom and love that governs the universe. It teaches you to trust, to wait, and to prepare with faith and patience. It shows you that life is not a random series of events, but a beautifully orchestrated masterpiece, unfolding in perfect harmony with your highest good. When you embrace divine timing, you step into a state of alignment, allowing miracles to flow effortlessly into your life. You discover the peace that comes from knowing that everything is happening exactly as it should, at the exact moment it is meant to. Living in the feeling of fulfillment is a transformative way of experiencing life. It begins with the understanding that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. What you carry within your emotions, beliefs, and assumptions inevitably manifests in the reality around you. Fulfillment is not something to be chased externally, but rather something to be cultivated within. When you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, you align yourself with its manifestation in the physical world. To live in the feeling of fulfillment, you must first define what fulfillment means to you. It is not a universal standard or a one-size-fits-all concept. Fulfillment is deeply personal, tied to your unique desires, goals, and aspirations. For some, it may mean financial abundance or career success. For others, it could be love, peace, or the joy of living in alignment with their purpose. Understanding what fulfillment looks and feels like for you is the foundation upon which this practice is built. Once you are clear on your vision of fulfillment, the next step is to create the emotional state that corresponds to it. This is not about pretending or forcing feelings, but about genuinely connecting to the emotions that having your desires would evoke. Imagine how you would feel if your dreams were already a reality. Would you feel joy? Gratitude? Peace? These emotions are the keys to unlocking the state of fulfillment. Visualization is a powerful tool to help you step into this feeling. Take time each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself already living your desired life. See the details vividly, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself confidently walking into a bank to deposit a large sum of money, or experiencing the freedom and peace that financial security brings. If it's love, picture yourself sharing meaningful moments with a partner, feeling cherished and adored. The more vividly you can imagine and feel this reality, the more you align yourself with its manifestation. Living in the feeling of fulfillment requires shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is already present or possible. This shift is vital because the human mind is naturally drawn to problems and shortcomings. However, dwelling on lack only reinforces its presence in your life. When you focus on fulfillment, you train your mind to recognize opportunities, blessings, and signs that align with your desires. This shift does not mean ignoring challenges, but choosing to see beyond them, trusting in your ability to overcome and rise above. Gratitude is an essential component of living in fulfillment. When you cultivate gratitude, you affirm the abundance that already exists in your life. Gratitude shifts your energy from a state of wanting to a state of having. It strengthens your connection to the feeling of fulfillment because it reminds you that you are already blessed in countless ways. Make it a habit to express gratitude daily, whether through journaling, meditation, or simple acknowledgement of the good things in your life. As you do, you will notice your emotional state becoming more aligned with fulfillment. Acting as if is another powerful technique. When you act as if your desires are already fulfilled, you send a strong signal to your subconscious mind and the universe that you believe in the reality you are creating. This does not mean pretending or living beyond your means, but embodying the energy and behaviors that align with your desires. For example, if you seek abundance, carry yourself with confidence and generosity. If you desire love, treat yourself and others with the care and respect you would expect in a loving relationship. These actions reinforce the feeling of fulfillment and draw your desires closer. Living in the feeling of fulfillment also requires patience. While the inner state creates the outer reality, the timing of manifestation is not always immediate. The universe operates on its own schedule, aligning circumstances and events in ways that serve your highest good. Impatience can disrupt this process by introducing resistance and doubt. Patience, on the other hand, allows you to remain in alignment, trusting that your desires are on their way. It is a quiet confidence that stems from knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. One of the most profound shifts that comes from living in fulfillment is the realization that fulfillment is not conditional. It does not depend on external achievements, possessions, or relationships. Instead, it is a state of being that you can access at any moment. When you realize this, you free yourself from the endless cycle of chasing and grasping. You become anchored in the present, fully engaged in the beauty and abundance of the now. Living in fulfillment transforms not only your inner world but also your outer experience. As you embody the energy of your desires, you become a magnet for their manifestation. People, opportunities, and circumstances begin to align in ways that seem miraculous. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, effortlessly attracting the life you envision. This is not magic, but the natural result of living in harmony with universal laws. Living in the feeling of fulfillment is about embracing your creative power. You are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its creation. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire, you step into your role as a deliberate creator. You begin to experience life not as a series of random events, but as a masterpiece of your own design. The journey of living in fulfillment is one of self-discovery and transformation. It challenges you to look within, to confront your fears and doubts, and to embrace the limitless possibilities that lie within you. As you commit to this practice, you will find that fulfillment is not a destination but a way of being, a state of grace, joy, and abundance that is available to you in every moment. In conclusion, living in the feeling of fulfillment is a profound journey of aligning your inner world with the life you wish to create. It requires clarity, trust, gratitude, and the willingness to release doubt and fear. By embracing the emotions of already having your desires, acting as if they are fulfilled, and patiently trusting the process, you unlock the immense creative power within you. Fulfillment is not something you chase externally, but a state of being you cultivate within. When you embody this state, your outer world naturally transforms to mirror your inner harmony. Opportunities flow, desires manifest, and life becomes a beautiful reflection of your intentionality. Remember, fulfillment is not a destination, but a way of living, a choice to embrace abundance, joy, and gratitude in every moment. Thank you for embarking on this transformative journey of self-discovery and creation. May you continue to live in the feeling of fulfillment and witness the miracles that unfold as a result. My friends, the home is more than four walls and a roof. It is a sacred space, a reflection of the inner sanctuary of your soul. If you long to invite the Holy Spirit into your home, know this: the Spirit comes not by chance, but by deliberate preparation. Your home must become a temple, a dwelling worthy of divine presence. Faith is the cornerstone of every divine encounter. It is the invisible bridge between the seen and the unseen, the tangible and the intangible. Without it, we are mere wanderers in a vast wilderness, blind to the divine presence that surrounds us. But faith is not just a concept, it is a living, breathing force that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is the key that unlocks the door to a higher reality, a realm where the Holy Spirit resides, waiting to be invited into the sanctuary of your home. To understand faith, we must first recognize its essence. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is a deep, unwavering conviction in the unseen power that governs all things. It is the assurance that what we hope for is already ours, even when our physical eyes cannot yet behold it. Faith calls us to act as though the promise has been fulfilled, to live in the reality of our desires before they manifest. It is this active, living faith that invites the Holy Spirit into our homes. Imagine for a moment that your home is a vessel. The Holy Spirit seeks to fill this vessel, but it cannot enter where the doors are locked and the windows shut. Faith is the key that opens every door, allowing the Spirit to flow freely. It is not enough to merely hope for divine presence. You must believe with every fiber of your being that the Spirit is already with you. This belief creates an atmosphere of expectation, a vibration that resonates with the divine. It is this resonance that draws the Spirit closer, like a melody that cannot be ignored. Faith is not merely a private experience, it must permeate every aspect of your home. It begins within your heart, but it extends to your words, your actions, and even the atmosphere you create. When you walk through your home, do you feel a sense of peace and assurance, or is there doubt lingering in the air? The Spirit is sensitive to the energy you cultivate. A home filled with faith becomes a beacon, a lighthouse in a storm, guiding the Holy Spirit to dwell there. Consider the stories of old, where faith transformed barren deserts into fertile gardens. The widow with the jar of oil had nothing but her faith, yet it was enough to sustain her and her household through famine. The centurion who approached Christ believed so deeply in his authority that he declared, "Only say the word, and my servant will be healed." These were not mere acts of hope, they were demonstrations of unshakable faith. And in each instance, the divine responded. Your home, too, can become a place where miracles occur, but only if you approach it with the same conviction. It requires action, for belief without action is like a seed that is never planted. If you believe that the Holy Spirit will dwell in your home, your actions must reflect that belief. Begin by dedicating your space to the divine. Speak words of invitation aloud, declaring that your home is a place of refuge for the Spirit. Remove anything that contradicts your faith, whether it be objects, habits, or attitudes. A home cluttered with doubt or distraction cannot fully welcome the Spirit. Instead, create an environment that reflects your faith, one of order, peace, and intention. Faith also thrives in the small, consistent acts of daily life. When you prepare a meal, do so with gratitude, believing that your provision is a testament to divine care. When you sit in quiet reflection, envision the Holy Spirit resting in your home, bringing comfort and guidance. Each act of faith, no matter how small, strengthens the foundation upon which the Spirit can build. Over time, these acts accumulate, creating a ripple effect that transforms your home into a sanctuary. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. It creeps in quietly, planting seeds of fear and uncertainty. But remember, this doubt cannot coexist with faith, for one will always overpower the other. To invite the Holy Spirit, you must guard your mind and heart against doubt. When it arises, confront it with truth. Speak aloud the promises you believe in, for the spoken word carries power. Remind yourself that faith is not about what you see, but about what you know to be true in the depths of your soul. It is also a gift that grows with use. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Begin with small acts of faith, and as you see the results, your confidence will grow. Perhaps you pray for peace in a single room of your home. As you witness the transformation in that space, extend your faith to the entire house. Let each answered prayer be a reminder that the Holy Spirit responds to your belief, filling every corner where faith is present. Faith is contagious. When you live with unwavering faith, it affects everyone who enters your home. Visitors may not be able to articulate what they feel, but they will sense the presence of something greater. Your home will become a place of refuge and inspiration, not just for you, but for all who cross its threshold. This is the power of faith. It not only invites the Holy Spirit into your home, but also extends its blessings to others. In every moment, you have a choice to live in faith or to live in fear. Choose faith and watch as your home is transformed into a dwelling place for the divine. Know that the Holy Spirit longs to be with you, but it waits for your invitation. Through faith, you open the door, not just to a presence, but to a power that can heal, restore, and uplift. This is the promise of faith, and it is yours to claim. Words carry an extraordinary power. They are not mere sounds, they are creative forces that shape the world around you and within you. What you speak in your home is a reflection of the thoughts and beliefs you hold, and those words form the atmosphere in which you live. To invite the Holy Spirit into your home, you must speak words of light, words that uplift, inspire, and resonate with divine truth. Words of light create a pathway for the Spirit to dwell among you, for the Spirit is drawn to the purity and power of such utterances. Every word you speak sends out a vibration. Like ripples in water, those vibrations extend outward, affecting the environment and the people around you. Words of love, encouragement, and faith resonate on a higher frequency, aligning with the divine. On the other hand, words of anger, criticism, or despair create a heavy atmosphere, repelling the Spirit. The Spirit cannot thrive in a home where negativity lingers, for it seeks a space of harmony and light. Speaking words of light begins with awareness. Many people speak without considering the weight of their words, unaware of the impact they have on their surroundings. But words are not idle, they are seeds, and every seed has the potential to grow into something larger. If you plant seeds of negativity, you will harvest discord and strife. However, if you plant seeds of light, you will reap peace, joy, and divine presence. To speak words of light, you must first be mindful of what you allow to come from your mouth. This requires discipline and a conscious effort to align your speech with the qualities you wish to cultivate in your home. Consider how words shape relationships within your home. Harsh words can create walls, separating you from those you love, while kind words build bridges, fostering understanding and connection. The Holy Spirit dwells where unity exists, and your words play a crucial role in creating that unity. When disagreements arise, resist the temptation to speak in anger or frustration. Instead, pause and choose your words carefully, ensuring they reflect the love and patience you wish to embody. By doing so, you create an environment where the Spirit feels welcome. Speaking words of light also involves speaking truth, but truth must be delivered with love. Truth spoken without love can wound, while truth spoken with love can heal. The Spirit is the essence of truth, and it cannot dwell where falsehood or deceit exists. This does not mean you must always speak perfectly or avoid difficult conversations. Rather, it means approaching every interaction with the intention to uplift and to align with divine principles. One of the most powerful ways to speak words of light is through prayer and affirmation. Prayer is not merely a request for divine intervention, it is a declaration of faith and a statement of alignment with the Spirit. When you pray, you are not only inviting the Spirit into your home, but also affirming that you believe in its presence and power. Speak your prayers aloud, allowing your words to fill the space around you. Let them become a vibration that invites the Spirit to dwell with you. Affirmations, too, are a powerful tool. When you affirm positive truths, you are reinforcing the light within you and your home. Speak affirmations that declare your home as a sanctuary of peace, love, and divine presence. Say, "This home is filled with light and love," or "The Holy Spirit dwells here." These affirmations, when spoken with conviction, carry a transformative power that reshapes the energy of your home. It is also important to guard against words that diminish light. Gossip, complaints, and negativity can erode the atmosphere of your home, creating a space that feels heavy and unwelcoming. The Spirit is sensitive to the energy you create, and it will not linger where negativity prevails. This does not mean suppressing your feelings or avoiding honest expression, but it does mean choosing your words carefully, ensuring they align with the light you wish to invite. Teaching children and others in your home to speak words of light is another way to foster an environment where the Spirit thrives. Encourage them to express gratitude, to speak kindly to one another, and to use their words to build rather than to tear down. When the whole household adopts this practice, the cumulative effect is profound, creating a space where the Spirit's presence is palpable. In moments of silence, even your thoughts can become words of light. The words you speak in your heart are just as powerful as those spoken aloud, for they shape your inner world and ultimately your outer reality. Practice speaking words of light internally, affirming your connection to the divine and the presence of the Spirit in your home. As your inner speech aligns with light, it will naturally flow into your spoken words, creating a seamless harmony between your thoughts and your environment. Let your words be consistent. Speaking words of light is not a one-time act, but a continual practice. It is the daily commitment to align your speech with the qualities you wish to embody and the divine presence you seek to invite. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, transforming not only your home but also your heart. The words you speak are a reflection of the light within you. By choosing to speak words that uplift, inspire, and align with truth, you create a space where the Holy Spirit feels welcome. Your words become a beacon, a guiding light that draws the Spirit closer, filling your home with peace, love, and divine presence. Remember, every word matters, and with each one, you have the power to invite the light of the Holy Spirit into your life and your home. Harmony is the essence of a home that invites the Holy Spirit. It is not simply the absence of conflict, but a deep and abiding sense of balance, peace, and unity. When harmony fills a home, it creates an atmosphere where the divine can dwell, where every member of the household feels a sense of safety, belonging, and connection. The Holy Spirit, being a spirit of unity and peace, is naturally drawn to such an environment. Harmony is not achieved by chance, it is cultivated intentionally through your actions, thoughts, and the energy you bring into your space. The atmosphere of your home is shaped by what you allow to flourish there. Think of it as a garden. If you nurture kindness, patience, and love, these virtues will grow and fill the air with their fragrance. But if you allow anger, resentment, or chaos to take root, they will choke out the beauty and leave only discord in their place. The Holy Spirit cannot thrive in a space overtaken by disarray, for its nature is one of perfect order and alignment. Creating harmony begins with you. As the heart of your home, your energy sets the tone for those around you. If you are at peace within yourself, that peace will extend outward, influencing your surroundings. Conversely, if you carry tension, frustration, or negativity, it will seep into the atmosphere, affecting everyone who enters. To cultivate harmony, you must first examine your own heart and mind. Are your thoughts aligned with peace? Are your words and actions consistent with love and understanding? The Holy Spirit works through you, and the state of your inner world directly impacts the harmony of your home. One of the most powerful tools for creating harmony is forgiveness. In every relationship, misunderstandings and conflicts are inevitable, but they do not have to disrupt the unity of your home. Forgiveness is the act of releasing resentment and choosing love over anger. It is not about condoning wrongs, but about freeing yourself from the burden of holding on to them. When forgiveness becomes a habit, it transforms your relationships, dissolving the barriers that divide and replacing them with bridges of connection. The Holy Spirit is drawn to the energy of forgiveness, for it mirrors the divine grace that restores and renews. Communication is another cornerstone of harmony. The way you speak and listen to others can either build unity or create division. When you speak, do so with intention, choosing words that uplift and encourage rather than criticize or belittle. When you listen, do so with empathy, seeking to understand rather than to judge. True communication is not about winning an argument or proving a point, it is about creating a space where everyone feels valued and heard. This kind of communication fosters trust, which is the foundation of harmony. The physical environment of your home also plays a role in creating harmony. Clutter, chaos, and disorganization can contribute to feelings of stress and unease, making it difficult for harmony to take root. Take the time to create a space that reflects order and peace. Let natural light flow through your rooms, open windows to allow fresh air, and arrange your space in a way that promotes a sense of calm. The Holy Spirit is often associated with symbols of purity and clarity, and a home that reflects these qualities becomes a welcoming sanctuary. Rituals and traditions are powerful ways to cultivate harmony in your home. Whether it's sharing a meal together, lighting a candle in prayer, or simply gathering to reflect on the blessings of the day, these practices create a rhythm that grounds your household in unity. Rituals remind you of your shared purpose and strengthen the bonds between family members. They also create an opportunity to invite the Holy Spirit into your midst, transforming ordinary moments into sacred ones. Harmony is not static, it requires ongoing effort and commitment. It is built through daily acts of kindness, patience, and understanding. It is sustained by a willingness to put the needs of others before your own, to compromise when necessary, and to approach every situation with a spirit of love. This does not mean neglecting your own needs or becoming a doormat, rather, it means recognizing that true harmony is a balance of giving and receiving, of honoring both yourself and others. Silence can also be a powerful tool for harmony. In a world filled with noise and distraction, moments of quiet can bring a sense of clarity and peace to your home. Silence creates a space for reflection, for listening to the whispers of the divine, and for simply being present. When silence is woven into the fabric of your daily life, it becomes a sanctuary within a sanctuary, a place where the Holy Spirit can speak and be heard. Children, if present in your home, can be natural carriers of harmony when guided with love and care. Teach them the values of kindness, patience, and respect. Show them through your own actions how to resolve conflicts peacefully and how to express their emotions in healthy ways. A home where children are nurtured in an atmosphere of love becomes a place where harmony naturally flourishes. Prayer is the anchor of harmony. When you pray, you are aligning yourself and your home with the divine. Prayer invites the Holy Spirit to fill your space, bringing peace and unity in its wake. Pray not only for yourself, but for every member of your household, for their well-being and for the harmony of your relationships. Let your prayers be filled with gratitude for the blessings you already have and with faith in the blessings yet to come. Harmony is the breath of a home that welcomes the Holy Spirit. It is the invisible thread that ties every moment, every relationship, and every corner of your space into a tapestry of peace. By cultivating harmony within yourself and extending it outward, you create an environment where the Spirit feels at home. It is in this atmosphere that love grows, miracles unfold, and divine presence becomes tangible. Harmony is not just a gift, it is a calling, a daily practice that transforms your home into a dwelling place for the Holy Spirit. Gratitude is a transformative force, a divine key that opens the doors to abundance, peace, and joy. It is not merely an emotion or a polite response to kindness, it is a state of being that aligns you with the highest frequencies of the universe. When you live in gratitude, you create a space where the Holy Spirit feels welcome, for gratitude is the language of the divine. It acknowledges the unseen blessings, honors the present moment, and draws more goodness into your life. To practice gratitude is to recognize the gifts in your life, both big and small. It begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, gratitude invites you to see the fullness of what already exists. A warm home, the laughter of loved ones, the beauty of sunlight streaming through a window, these are treasures that, when noticed, become sacred. Gratitude magnifies these blessings, reminding you that even the simplest things carry profound significance. The Holy Spirit is drawn to this acknowledgement, for it thrives in a heart that is open and appreciative. Gratitude is not dependent on external circumstances. It is easy to feel grateful when everything is going well, but the true power of gratitude lies in its ability to transcend difficulties. In moments of struggle, gratitude becomes a bridge between despair and hope. It shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is still right, offering a sense of peace and perspective. Even in pain, there is something to be grateful for: a lesson, a glimmer of grace, or the strength to keep going. The act of finding gratitude in hardship is a profound declaration of faith, a statement that you trust in the divine plan, even when you cannot see the whole picture. In a home where gratitude is practiced, the atmosphere is different. There is a lightness, a sense of peace that cannot be easily shaken. This is because gratitude has the power to dissolve negativity. When you focus on what you are thankful for, there is little room for complaints, resentment, or fear. Gratitude uplifts, replacing heaviness with joy and disconnection with unity. It is a magnetic force that draws the Holy Spirit into your home, for the Spirit responds to the energy of thanksgiving with an even greater outpouring of blessings. Gratitude is best expressed through action. While it begins in the heart, it gains power when shared with others. A word of thanks, a small gesture of kindness, or a prayer of thanksgiving are all ways to amplify the energy of gratitude. When you take the time to express your appreciation, whether to a family member, a friend, or even to the divine itself, you are planting seeds of light that will grow and multiply. The act of expressing gratitude not only strengthens your connection to others, but also deepens your relationship with the Spirit. Gratitude can also be cultivated as a daily practice. Begin each day with a moment of reflection, naming the things you are thankful for. Let this be your first act of the morning, setting the tone for the hours ahead. As you move through your day, make a conscious effort to notice and appreciate the blessings around you. End the day by reflecting on the moments that brought joy, comfort, or growth, no matter how small. This practice, when done consistently, transforms your mindset and your environment, creating a home where the Spirit feels welcome. Children, if present in your home, can be natural learners of gratitude. Teach them by example, showing them how to give thanks for their meals, their toys, or the beauty of nature. Encourage them to find something to be grateful for each day and celebrate their discoveries. By fostering this habit in them, you are not only shaping their character but also contributing to the harmonious energy of your home. A household that practices gratitude together becomes a beacon of light, a sanctuary where the spirit dwells. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to anxiety and fear. When worry threatens to overwhelm, gratitude redirects your focus. It reminds you of the goodness that still exists, grounding you in the present moment and easing the mind's restless chatter. The Holy Spirit cannot thrive in an atmosphere of fear, but it flourishes in the energy of trust and thanksgiving. By choosing gratitude in moments of uncertainty, you create a space for the Spirit to move, bringing clarity, peace, and reassurance. Another profound aspect of gratitude is its ability to amplify blessings. When you give thanks for what you have, you open the door to receive even more. Gratitude operates as a spiritual law. What you appreciate expands. By focusing on the good in your life and expressing genuine thanks, you align yourself with the flow of abundance. The Holy Spirit, ever attentive to the heart's intentions, responds by pouring out more blessings, further enriching your life. In prayer, gratitude holds a special place. While it is natural to ask for help or guidance, there is immense power in prayers of thanksgiving. When you thank the Spirit for blessings already received, you acknowledge the divine hand in your life. When you give thanks for blessings yet to come, you demonstrate faith, affirming that what you seek is already on its way. This act of gratitude strengthens your connection to the divine, drawing the Spirit closer and deepening its presence in your home. Gratitude also extends to how you treat your surroundings. Caring for your home, honoring the space you live in, and appreciating the comforts it provides are acts of thanksgiving. When you tend to your home with love and respect, you create an environment that reflects the gratitude in your heart. This physical expression of gratitude invites the Spirit to dwell among you, for it sees the care you have given to the place it is invited to inhabit. Gratitude is more than a practice, it is a way of life. It is a lens through which you see the world, a habit that transforms ordinary moments into sacred ones. By choosing gratitude, you align yourself with the divine flow, creating a home where the Holy Spirit feels welcome. Your life, in turn, becomes a testimony to the power of thanksgiving, a shining example of what is possible when gratitude is the key. In the rush and noise of daily life, there lies an overlooked yet profound sanctuary, the gift of quietude. To invite the Holy Spirit into your home, cultivating moments of silence and stillness is essential. Quietude is not simply the absence of sound, it is the deliberate creation of a space where your spirit can breathe, where your thoughts can settle, and where divine whispers can be heard. In these moments of stillness, the Holy Spirit finds a welcoming atmosphere, free from the distractions that often crowd our minds and homes. Daily quietude is a sacred pause, a time set aside to disconnect from the busyness of the world and reconnect with the divine within. It is in silence that clarity emerges, where the noise of doubts, fears, and uncertainties begins to fade, replaced by the reassuring presence of peace. The Holy Spirit, gentle and ever-present, often communicates in subtle ways through impressions, feelings, or quiet inspirations. But to perceive these messages, you must be still, creating a space where the Spirit's voice is not drowned out by the constant hum of life. This practice begins with intention. Quietude does not happen by accident. It requires a conscious decision to carve out time for stillness, no matter how full your schedule may be. Even a few minutes each day can transform your inner state and the atmosphere of your home. Find a place where you can sit undisturbed, free from distractions. It might be a corner of your living room, a space in your bedroom, or even a spot outdoors where nature itself becomes part of your quietude. Wherever it is, let it be a place where you feel at ease, a sanctuary for your soul. The act of quieting yourself is a spiritual practice. It begins with the breath slow, deep, and steady. As you focus on each inhale and exhale, your body begins to relax, and your mind starts to release the clutter it carries. The breath is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, anchoring you in the present moment while opening you to divine presence. With each breath, you create space for the Holy Spirit to fill, allowing its peace to flow through you. Daily quietude is not about achieving emptiness, but about creating openness. In this openness, you become more attuned to the Spirit's guidance, its gentle nudges and assurances. Quietude is a time to listen, not to strive or ask. It is an act of surrender, a recognition that in stillness you align yourself with divine wisdom that surpasses your understanding. The Holy Spirit often speaks in the spaces between words, in the silence that carries profound meaning. To hear this, you must let go of the need to fill the silence with your own thoughts and allow the divine to fill it instead. The benefits of daily quietude extend beyond the moments of stillness. The peace and clarity it brings begin to infuse the rest of your day. Decisions become easier, relationships more harmonious, and challenges less overwhelming when approached from a place of inner calm. This shift is not coincidental, it is the result of inviting the Spirit to be an active presence in your life. Quietude creates a ripple effect, transforming not only your inner world, but also the environment around you. A home where quietude is practiced becomes a refuge, a place where peace and presence are palpable. Children, if part of your household, can also be introduced to the practice of quietude in age-appropriate ways. Encourage them to sit with you for a few moments, perhaps with a simple focus like watching the flame of a candle or listening to the sound of their breath. Teach them that silence is not something to fear, but a gift to treasure. In doing so, you plant seeds of mindfulness and peace that will grow throughout their lives, shaping them into individuals who carry the Spirit's presence wherever they go. Quietude also deepens your relationship with yourself. In the silence, you come face to face with your true self, beyond the roles, responsibilities, and distractions that often define you. It is a time to reflect, to acknowledge your emotions, and to release what no longer serves you. This self-awareness is a form of spiritual alignment, clearing the way for the Holy Spirit to work through you more effectively. In knowing yourself, you come closer to understanding the divine within you. Quietude is not a withdrawal from life, but an embrace of its deepest truths. It is in the silence that you come to understand that you are never alone, that the Spirit is always with you, guiding, comforting, and renewing you. By choosing daily quietude, you invite this presence into your life in a profound way, creating a foundation of peace that sustains you through all of life's seasons. Let quietude become your daily offering, your sacred pause, where the Spirit meets you in love and fills your home with its light. Intentional acts of kindness are profound gestures that invite the divine presence into your life and home. They are more than just fleeting actions of generosity, they are deliberate expressions of love, compassion, and understanding. These acts, no matter how small, carry a transformative power that not only touches others, but also elevates your spirit. Kindness is a language understood by all, a universal force that unites hearts, dissolves barriers, and creates an environment where the Holy Spirit feels welcomed and celebrated. When you practice kindness with intention, you align yourself with the energy of divine love. The Holy Spirit is drawn to spaces where love is actively demonstrated, for such acts mirror the essence of the divine. Kindness is not about grand displays or seeking recognition. It is about the authenticity of your heart's intention. A kind word, a helping hand, or a listening ear can be as powerful as the most elaborate gesture, provided it is given with sincerity and care. These acts create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond what you can see, fostering an atmosphere of grace that resonates in your home. Intentional kindness begins with mindfulness. It requires being fully present and attuned to the needs of those around you. In a world that often moves at a frenetic pace, slowing down to truly see and respond to others is an act of kindness in itself. This mindfulness allows you to notice opportunities to help, comfort, or uplift someone in a way that feels personal and meaningful. When you take the time to act from a place of thoughtfulness, your actions carry a deeper significance, becoming channels through which the Holy Spirit's love flows. Kindness is a practice that begins at home. It is in your daily interactions with family members, roommates, or even yourself, that you set the tone for a spirit-filled environment. Simple gestures like expressing gratitude, offering encouragement, or sharing a smile create a foundation of warmth and connection. These acts may seem small, but their impact is profound, building an atmosphere of trust and love that invites the Spirit to dwell among you. By consistently choosing kindness in your closest relationships, you create a ripple effect that extends beyond the walls of your home, touching everyone you encounter. Practicing intentional kindness also requires a spirit of generosity. This does not necessarily mean giving material gifts, but offering the treasures of your time, attention, and empathy. When you listen without judgment, when you offer comfort without conditions, and when you give without expecting anything in return, you embody the essence of divine love. Generosity of spirit opens the heart and creates a space where the Holy Spirit can work through you, blessing both the giver and the receiver in equal measure. One of the most powerful aspects of kindness is its ability to heal. A kind gesture has the potential to mend wounds, restore hope, and rekindle faith in humanity. When you choose kindness, you become a vessel for the Holy Spirit's healing power, bringing light into dark places and peace into troubled hearts. This healing extends not only to others, but also to yourself, for in giving kindness, you also receive its blessings. The act of extending love and compassion reinforces your connection to the divine, strengthening your spirit and deepening your sense of purpose. Kindness is contagious. When you practice it intentionally, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that transforms not only individual lives but entire communities. The Holy Spirit thrives in this atmosphere of collective goodwill, multiplying the blessings that flow from each act of kindness. By choosing to lead with love, you become a catalyst for change, spreading the Spirit's presence wherever you go. This influence begins with simple, intentional acts that demonstrate the power of love in action. Teaching kindness to children is another way to invite the Holy Spirit into your home. By modeling acts of compassion and encouraging them to practice kindness, you instill values that will shape their character and their relationship with the divine. Children learn not only through words but through observation, and when they see kindness consistently demonstrated, they internalize its importance. Encourage them to share, to express gratitude, and to help others in ways that are meaningful to them. These small lessons create a foundation of love and empathy that will guide them throughout their lives. Kindness also extends to how you treat yourself. Many people overlook self-kindness, but it is an essential component of a spirit-filled life. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding you would offer to others. Speak words of encouragement to yourself, forgive your mistakes, and care for your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. When you practice self-kindness, you create a strong inner foundation that allows you to pour kindness into others without depleting yourself. The Holy Spirit honors this balance, recognizing that love begins within and flows outward. Intentional kindness requires consistency. It is not reserved for special occasions, or when it feels convenient. It is a daily practice, a way of being that reflects your commitment to love and compassion. Whether you are helping a neighbor in need, sharing an uplifting word with a friend, or simply holding the door open for a stranger, each act of kindness is a step toward creating a world that reflects divine love. The Holy Spirit is present in these moments, working through your actions to bring light and healing to all who are touched by them. Intentional acts of kindness are expressions of divine purpose. They remind us that we are all connected, that each of us has the power to make a difference through simple, loving actions. By choosing to practice kindness with intention, you invite the Holy Spirit into your life and home in a profound way, creating an environment where love, peace, and grace flourish. Let kindness be your offering, your daily expression of gratitude and faith, and watch as the Spirit moves through your life, transforming it in ways beyond measure. In conclusion, creating an atmosphere that invites the Holy Spirit into your home requires conscious effort and heartfelt intention. By embracing faith as the doorway, speaking words of light, fostering harmony, practicing gratitude, cultivating daily quietude, and performing intentional acts of kindness, you open your heart and home to divine presence. These practices are not just rituals, but ways of living that align you with the Spirit's love, peace, and guidance. Each step transforms not only your inner world, but the environment around you, making your home a sanctuary of grace and light. Through these acts, you mirror the essence of divine love, creating a ripple effect that touches lives far beyond your own. The Holy Spirit dwells where faith is strong, gratitude is abundant, and kindness is expressed daily. Thank you for allowing these words to inspire and guide you. May your journey be filled with peace, joy, and the comforting presence of the Holy Spirit in every moment. Blessings to you and your home.